Welcome to the Sacred Resonance Podcast. I am Reverend Larry J III, and I'm grateful you're here. Before we begin, take one full breath with me. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let yourself arrive. This podcast is a space for those who are listening for a deeper life, not a louder one, not a more productive one, but a life shaped by resonance, by that quiet, unmistakable knowing in your body when something is aligned and when something is not aligned. Sacred resonance exists because I believe that transformation doesn't happen only through pressure. It happens through attention, through listening, through telling the truth about where we are. Yes, telling the truth about where we are and allowing spirit to meet us there. I come to this work as a spiritual accompanist, an apostolic dreamer, a black queer mystic, and most honestly, a fellow traveler in the long work of becoming. And I want to say this clearly at the beginning of this podcast, that this podcast is not a performance. It is not hot take spirituality. It is not about fixing yourself or striving towards some ideal version of who you should be. This is a space where we move at the pace of the soul. A space where nothing in you is too sacred, too wounded, too brilliant, or too unfinished to hold. This winter season and this podcast were born from a tender place in me. A season where old identities began to loosen, where certainty softened, where spirit met me not in clarity, but in honesty. I too am in a season of becoming, not the finished, polished kind, the kind where you don't have the language for everything that's changing, right? You don't have the language for everything that's changing, but you can feel it. And I've learned something important in this season, that my life doesn't change when I force myself into a better version of me. That my life changes, honestly, truly, when I listen for what is resonating and when I honor what no longer resonates. This podcast is an invitation into that kind of listening. Over time, I will share stories about places that shaped me, cities that formed my body and my theology, moments that clarified my calling. And this winter, we'll begin with one of those stories, a story about San Diego. I love San Diego. San Diego is a place that cracked me open, that held me, challenged me, and grew me in ways that I'm still integrating. But before we go there, I wanted to begin here with you. Winter is a holy teacher. Winter strips away the noise. It invites us inward. Winter asks us to tell the truth about who we are when no one is watching. So I want to offer you a few questions, not to answer all at once, but to live with this winter season. What in me is quietly asking to be born? What truth have I been avoiding because it asks something of me? Where is the divine inviting me into more honest alignment? And what if nothing is wrong? What if I am simply transforming? Allow those questions to walk with you this season. If you take nothing else from today, take this. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to move at your own pace and resonance. That deep embodied knowing is holy. If this space resonates with you, you're welcome to follow along or connect more deeply at sacredresonance.co. Next week, we begin the San Diego story, a story of place, breath, disruption, and becoming. Until then, Stay gentle with yourself. Stay curious and stay aligned with what resonates. This is Sacred Resonance, and this is your season of becoming.